Okay, welcome everybody. And my name is Dr. Jav, and thank you for attending this call. And if you can hear me and see me, please drop me a 111 in the chat box, and then we can make a start. Okay, brilliant. So yeah, like I said, you all know who I am. We also have the very lovely Mandeep on the call as well. Now, I just want to make it clear from the outset that this call is a call for leaders. So every single person on this call today is a leader, and by leader I mean you want to build the business, and by building the business I mean that you want to increase your team size and you want to become financially free from the two income streams that we have. So obviously we've got the trading income stream. On this presentation, on this call today, we're not going to be talking about any trading strategies. We're going to focus on just building, and also you've got the building income stream. So when you add them both together, you can do extremely well in this business opportunity, as both myself and many other people on this call are doing at the moment. So again, every single person on this call is a leader, and this call is going to be a call with a difference. I'm going to speak for a few minutes myself. I'm going to then pass the baton on to Mandeep and ask Mandeep to speak for a few minutes as well. Once we've spoken, we're going to open up the board to you guys for you to ask us any questions that you like. If you want to ask us questions via the chat, you can do so as I'm speaking through this call, and both myself and Mandeep will then answer your questions and also open up the questions to the team as well. So anyone on this call, if you want to want to answer the questions, you're welcome to do so as well. So again, from the outset, I want to make it clear, we're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about building on this presentation. Now, I just want to talk about a few things before we open up the presentation to Mandeep and you guys. I want to talk about daily habits. So the daily habits of a leader are extremely important. You may have heard of these daily habits before, but I want to reiterate the habits on this call. Now, these are things that I do every single day. And my recommendation to you is that, obviously you're on this presentation because you want to build. My recommendation is that you start doing these things every single day yourself as well. Now, the first thing that I do every single morning is that I'm grateful. So if you make this a daily habit, as soon as you wake up, whether you wake up at 3 in the morning or 8 o'clock or at 10 o'clock, doesn't make a difference. If you can wake up earlier, the earlier the better. And I know some of you guys on this call don't sleep because you trade at night, but one of the daily habits that I have, excuse me, is that I'm always grateful. So when you wake up, if you think of 3 things that you're grateful for and mention these things to yourself, you'll find that over a period of time, this will become a daily habit. Now, those 3 things can be very, very specific. It can be, I'm grateful for my family, or I'm grateful for a specific person in my family. I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. Many people didn't wake up today. So I'm grateful for being alive today. I'm grateful that I am a chairman 10 in I Am Academy. It doesn't really matter what you're grateful for as long as you're sincere. Make this a daily habit. And what I found is that since I've been doing this, my business has shot through the roof. And gratefulness is a very, very important concept. I'm not going to talk about religion on this call, but it doesn't really matter who you pray to, but try and be grateful every single day when you wake up, and also before you go to bed if you can. The 3 Ps, I've talked about this before on other calls: prospecting, promoting, presenting. Every single leader on this presentation, on this call, should know about prospecting, promoting, and presenting. Now, when I started this business, I was actually prospecting, promoting, and presenting from day one. Now, to a newbie, to someone who's joined recently, my recommendation is that you become an expert on prospecting and promoting. Presenting takes a little bit of time. The good news is that we're presenting for you every single day. Twice a day, we are presenting the business to you. So you need to become an expert initially on prospecting and inviting people to the presentations. And then once they've been through the presentation, you don't have to close, because either myself or another team member like Mandeep can close for you. But over a period of time, you need to become very good at closing as well. However, initially, Let's just focus on the prospecting, the inviting. Get your people onto the presentations, and that's your job done initially. The other aspects of this, like promoting and presenting, can come later. However, in my opinion, prospecting and inviting is the most important initially. Become an expert on that, and you will see over a period of time that you will become very, very good at doing that. And then you can start looking at promoting and presenting. Another thing I wanted to talk about on this presentation was affirmations. So again, I've talked about this many, many times on countless presentations. What are you saying to yourself on a daily basis? In my case, I am so happy and grateful. I am a chairman 10 by 31st December 2020. In your case, whether you want to be a chairman 10, chairman 50, 100, doesn't really make a difference. You need to be saying these things to yourself every single day. And what you'll find is that what you say is what you will become. If you keep saying to yourself, I can't do this. I meet many people in this business, unfortunately, who come back to me and say, look, I can't do the trading. I can't do the building. If you're saying that to yourself, unfortunately, that will become true. So whatever you say, you will become. Try and be positive in every single interaction you have with any other human being and yourself. Look at what you're saying to yourself. If you say to yourself, I cannot build a business, then that will become true. So you need to become very, very positive in your outlook in life. And what I say to people is, see the good in everything. Try and see the good in everything that you see, hear, touch, feel, taste. Try and see the good in everything, and that will become a habit. Unfortunately, in this world, we have a lot of negative interactions. People that you might meet at work, even in your family, and this is true for me as well. Many people in my family, many of my friends, my former friends, are extremely negative. And if I have a negative interaction with someone, I tend to walk away. So I will speak to someone for 20 seconds to a minute. If I find that the conversation is going negative, I will walk away, because I do not want to fill my head with negativity. And again, this is a daily habit that you need to ensure that you take on board. So try and be positive. Make sure that you have positive interactions every day. If you're surrounded by negativity, try and move away from that. If you find that difficult, then try and see the good in everything that you come across. Another question that I had, certainly in this business this week, was that, why are people leaving? Why do people leave? My answer to that is, do not worry about people leaving. People will leave all the time. This business is not for everything. It's only the 5% that stay in this business that will make it. If you've been in this business, and I applaud you if you have, for longer than 3 months, you have got what it takes to be the 5%. Now, when I'm talking about the 5%, I'm talking about the people in this business, in this specific business, that will hit 6 to 7 figures a year. If you've made it past the 3-month mark, there's no reason why you should not make 6 to 7 figures plus a year in this business, and in some cases a month. So again, I applaud you for for being in this business for as long as 3 months. I use 3 months as a marker because I've been in business now for quite a long time, over 2 decades. And I see all kinds of people coming into business and leaving, trying something new every single day and finding it doesn't work for them. But again, I say this from the bottom of my heart. If you've been in business for longer than 3 months, you will make it. Just keep going. Do not quit. Be the 5%. 95% of the world population are broke and will die broke, unfortunately. 95% of 7.8 billion people is a very big number. 5% of the world population are financially free. These are the investors, the business owners. These people own more wealth than the 95% collectively of the rest of the population. The same applies to this business. You need to make the 5%, and the way you can do that is through our assistance. We've been through the hurdles. We know what it takes, and my intention is to make every single person on this presentation today a 6 to 7 figure earner in this business. And if you just take on board what we say, take on board the daily affirmations, the daily habits, there's no reason why you will not make it. And of course, the teachability index. You need to be teachable. Do not come into this business knowing everything. I don't know everything. I learn something new every single day. I listen to Bob Proctor CDs every single day. If you go into the back office, there are recordings of Bob Proctor, who's one of the biggest personal development coaches in the world, and we've teamed up with him for a reason. And that reason is that we want you to make it. Very, very closely related to prospecting, promoting, and presenting is another P, and that P is the P of personal development. And if you learn something new every single day in the personal development space, you will find that your life will change. I don't care what you do in your day job, whether you're a doctor, plumber, electrician, it does not make a difference. If you are personally developed, you will find that you start seeing things differently. And when you start seeing things differently, your business will jump heaps and hurdles. Again, I'm saying this from personal experience. I do a lot of personal development. Like I said before, I'm doing personal development every single day, and I see things differently today. The last thing I want to say is again, I've mentioned this before, this is going to be an open forum. I'm going to pass the baton on to Mandeep now and invite her to talk about a few things initially before we ask you, every single person on this call, to give us your questions. If you have questions now, please start typing them into the chat box. And as you do that, I'm going to make Mandeep a co-host, and so she can actually come onto the presentation as well. And that way we can both control things together. So Mandeep, are you on this call?
Yes, I am, Dr. Jav. Woo, you're back in full swing. Yay, that's really great. Can we have some 7-7s for Mr. Dr. Jav? Do we not love him? He is back. He's been off the radar for some time, but he's back in good health. I see he's there. I keep telling him to lay off the kebabs, but it's not
Yeah, basically, I've been on a leaf diet. So leaf tea is very good for you. So if anyone has a cold or a flu, it doesn't feel good, start maybe not eating leaves, but drink something to do with leaves and potions. But we'll talk about that later. Mandeep, I haven't been away. I've been here all the time. I just lost my voice for a few days, but I'm here 100%. And Mandeep, it's always great to see you in person and on Zoom. And excuse me, I'm going to pass the baton on to you, Mandeep. Please, talk about a few things, and then we'll pass the baton on to every single attendee on this call. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Jav. So that was amazing. Thank you very much for that introduction. So I can see some new faces some new names on the call. That's great. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mandeep. I've been a part of I Am Mastery Academy for nearly just over 2 years now. And what a journey it's been. What a journey it's been. I come from a corporate background myself, and I never ever thought that I'd be doing Forex. I just thought, it's stats and charts and mathematics, and I'm not a fan. Like, it's not for me. But I'm so glad that our mentor, Mr. Takira Bass, sat me down and he said, Mandeep, if you want to earn crazy income, you have to come out of your comfort zone and do something different. And just like Jav said at the beginning of the call, this is not a trading call. So if anybody wants to log off now, that is just purely a trader. You better do it now, because we have made it clear that this is for people who want to build, because we've actually not done anything. We've not done anything like this before. But I was talking to Jav and I said, how can we help the builders, specifically in the team, who want to build a business? They want to earn residual income. So we decided together that let's put on a call where people can interact and all the rest of it. So I joined the business a couple of years ago, and I was a bit kind of, can it work? Can it not? And as the program went on, and as I've developed myself, I really, really fell in love with the company, the people, everybody here. We are here and connected because of this business. Like, I probably would have never met Mohammed or Austin or Artie, and who else is on here? Everybody, Sade, Shannon, Salma. Never would have met any of these amazing people had it not been for this business. So I think one of the key things is, of course, everybody wants to make money and have financial freedom. But for me, what I really, really love is you don't know who you're going to meet along the way, and the friendships that you create. It's just amazing how we can all help uplift each other and, meet in groups. And obviously I know we can't meet in groups at the moment, but it's really, really fantastic. And I think what I'd like to do, once lockdown and what have you is over, we'll definitely arrange a team meeting, and we'll do that for sure. So yeah, we wanted to make this a bit of an interactive call. I do a lot in terms of building the business, but what I want to do is kind of open up the floor to you, because I want to maximize our time. Obviously, I don't want to be going on for too long, and I want us to feel that you can ask myself and Jav questions. Jav, I don't know whether you might want to unmute everybody, or if someone has a question, they can put it in the chat box.
Yeah,
But
sure.
what we can do is we can, if somebody wants to, like, if you have a long question, then just ask to be unmuted, and we can do that. But let's make it a bit of an interactive call, and I'm going to answer the questions as and when we go along. So the first one, myself and Jav will take it in turns to ask. So Jav, I'm asking you a question here. I thought we'd take it in turns.
Before I go to that, I was going to say, this is going to be as interactive as possible. It's an open forum.
Yeah.
So I want everybody to start to get to know each other, because what you'll find is that Mandeep and I might not be around at a certain time, and then you can ask somebody else for assistance on any questions or anything. And also collectively, like I said before, every single person in this group is a chairman, and we're going to get you there. And if you want to put your video on, please do so. And I'm just going to read out a few names, Mandeep, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it. And what I'd also say, guys, is put your videos on, because this is the way we're going to get to see and hear each other. Some of you is going to be a bit of a test now, because they're thinking, I've not got my makeup on. For the lads, you're fine. Some people are getting a bit nervous right now, but this is all about stepping outside of your comfort zone. It's okay. Your face is fine. Trust me. Right, we've got Mohammed's video on. We've got this lady's video on. We've got Maria's. We've got Dav's. So Austin, Artie, Salma.
Yep.
Videos are not coming on. B, where is your video? I'm looking at you right now, hun.
Austin's video is on. Austin, good to see you again.
Austin, good to see you.
Artie, Artie, great to see you. Spoke today. In fact, there's two Austins, so I think Austin's got a twin brother, so that's okay.
Oh, Artie, that's fine. Sorry, who was that? Sorry,
sorry. B's got no makeup on. B, look at me. I've got no makeup on. Don't worry.
Dan's got no makeup on. It's fine. Ah, there she is. There she is. See, it's fine. Look, this is how you're going to get out of your comfort zone. So who's next? Mohammed has switched his video off. Emilio, Elvin.
You missed Daniel. Oh, Salma. Salma's waving away.
Where's Salma?
Selma's the one with.
I'm here.
There you are.
I'm actually doing my makeup, so that's why I didn't put it on. If I disappear, it's because I don't want to teach you makeup.
Oh, okay.
Amazing. Out in a minute.
Selma, don't worry about the makeup. Seriously, you don't need it.
I'm trying to do two things at once.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry. And who else?
Daniel on the call. Daniel. Davish, all the way from Mauritius. So I'm waiting for
welcome.
Davish to invite. In fact, Davish is going to invite us all to Mauritius very, very soon. So yeah, we've got him on the call. Alvin, great to see you. Emilio, Naz, Owner. Right, I'm not sure who Owner is, but whatever your name is, you can actually change your name. Yeah, I don't want to call you Owner through this presentation, so please change your name to whatever your name is. Sade, we've known each other for 3 years. Great to have you on the call, as always. Shannon, Chairman 10, or Chairwoman 10, I can see you straight away. Give it a couple of months, you are Chairman. Usman, great to see you, and Willis as well.
I think it's such a good idea. We asked everybody to put their videos on, because that's the first kind of, the guard is down now and everybody's feeling comfortable. I can see some smiles.
Mohammed, Mohammed is here as well. Mohammed's been avoiding me, so good to see you, Mohammed. And Artie, I love the glasses.
Yes, very sophisticated.
So yeah, let's go to the questions, Mandeep. So
okay, if it is noisy on your end, just put your mic off, and when you want to speak, just put your mic on, and then that way we can all hear what's going on. So if you just want to mute yourselves, and then when you have a question, just unmute. So we'll go through them now. Okay, so we've got a couple of questions here.
I was going to say, let's just mute everybody for a bit, and then because I can hear a television in the background.
Yeah, what is that?
Right. So I think Mandeep, I've muted you as well. Let me find you. Mandeep, are you muted?
Oh, sorry, I unmuted.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I muted
Okay,
myself.
so yeah,
Sorry
so
about that.
everyone's muted now, Mandy. Go on, go ahead.
Okay, so right, so a couple of questions. So Dav has said, I've spoken to a few people and invited them on a webinar, followed them up. They said they're going to think about it. So Dav, in answer to that, what I'd say is that get one of us on the call. So when you speak to someone, where's Davish? Let me see your face. There you are. So Dav, when you're speaking to someone and they're saying, I want to think about it or whatever, before that, when you speak to them, call them up and say, there's a presentation going on tonight, and exactly after half an hour, myself and my mentor will do a 3-way WhatsApp call with you. So the expectation is created there and then that one of us can help you close them. So it will either be myself or Dr. Jav that comes on and do that. And as your confidence grows, then you can basically close them on your own.
Yeah,
Okay.
great response, Mandy. If I could add to that as well, Davish, this is very much a numbers game. So when you sow seeds, a certain percentage of those seeds will grow into crop, and many more of those seeds will actually wither away and die. It's the same in this business. What you'll find is that it's very much a numbers game. The more people you speak to, the more people you prospect, the more people you invite, the stronger your business will become. And when it comes to people that say, I'm going to think about it, what Mandy said is, that's what you should do, a 3-way call. If you can't do a 3-way call, keep in contact with them. Make sure that your prospect is always engaged. In this business, I'm not going to mention any names, but you know who you are. I've known people for over 3 or 4 years and they haven't joined at that point. And then they come to me like 3 years later because I'm always in touch with people. I keep in touch with people until they block me. So, so again, that's obviously you shouldn't, speak to people every single day, but Austin's smiling. I think he knows that. In fact, Austin, I've known Austin for probably about close on to 3 years, and I was doing some other stuff then. And I kept in touch with Austin, and I'm sure Austin won't mind me telling you his story. Austin, if you want to unmute yourself. In fact, I will unmute you, Austin, so you can actually, speak a little bit as well. But Austin, basically, I've known him for 3 years or so, and he said, I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
And every single month I spoke to him, I gave him some information on how to trade, and he always came back to me and said, Jav, you know what? I'll think about it. So Austin, you're here now. What do you say to that? Are you happy that you're here?
I'm very happy.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm happy that you kept calling me.
So there you go, Davish.
I mean, I didn't pick up your calls sometimes, but I'm happy you kept calling.
Yeah. So with Austin, I was ringing him every single month for 3 years almost. In the beginning, Austin was saying, who's this guy ringing me? What's he about? But finally, Austin said yes. And I said, Austin, this is your day. And since then, Austin, you're a successful trader. And also Austin is building the business as well. He said to me, I'm not interested in building the business, but Austin, you are now building the business whether you like it or not.
I know, that's why I'm on this call now.
So Mandy, like I said before, we have secret talents in the team that we need to obviously support. Austin, we're here to support you all the way. And if you do not become a chairman, me and Mandy and I are not doing our job very well. Yeah. So let's get you there. So Mandy, next question.
Next question we have is...
I'll read the next question out, Mandy.
Say it again.
Shall I read the next question out?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So what do you say when they want to know the cost, Mandeep?
So what do you say when they want to know the cost? So is this before or after you've shown them the presentation, Artie?
So Artie, you can turn your microphone
on. This is before. So when you're sharing with them, do you want to learn how to multiply money from home? They want to know, well, what's the cost involved?
Okay, so when I'm talking to them, I don't really give people an option to kind of say anything else, because my main aim is to get information to them. So if you're saying to me, what's the cost? I'll say, well, there is I'll tell you what, so ask me the question.
Okay, I've heard what you're suggesting, but what's the price involved? What sort of cost is it?
Okay, well, I tell you what, the best way to see that is for you to log onto a webinar we've got. But this, I've literally just got to answer another call. So let me know, can I book you in for 7:30 or 8 o'clock this evening? What's good for you?
Right. Okay.
And then
Cool.
I'm putting urgency on it. I don't really have another call. I'm just pretending.
Yeah.
But basically what I'm saying is, look, I'll go really, really quick. And this is why when you do speak to people, always make sure it's a quick call. But the aim is to always get them in front of information, and we know there's not a webinar on at 7:30, but you can just say, oh, one-to-one webinar at 7:30 or group webinar at 8. Very quickly, you're just about to hop onto the next Zoom. So what's good for you? And then I'll give you an answer. That's it. So always, if they ask you a question that you don't like, always answer it with another question. And that way you've always got control of the conversation.
Right, nice one. Okay, thank you.
No worries.
So
Joe, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, if I can add to that. Mandeep, again, very, very good response. Now, when it comes to cost, again, before the presentation, I never give anybody the cost because they start comparing things. So if you say it's £200 or £2,000, they'll start comparing it to other things before they know the opportunity. So again, like I said before this group chat, I said, become an expert on prospecting and inviting people. And an element of that is basically to not give them too much information. If you give them too much information, especially if you just joined the business, you're not in a position to handle all the questions. Now, again, obviously when I started, I was doing everything, but I'm different because I've been in business for a long time. But again, my response is, again, invite, get them onto a webinar, even if it means going and sitting with them and forcing them to watch the webinar. If you give them a cost, to be honest, $235 is an extremely low number. I did some analysis a while back. The average price to learn how to trade in the UK is £5,000. So compare that to $200, it's a no-brainer. Everybody should join. But the problem is when you give somebody a cost to start comparing things and getting all confused. So invite them onto a webinar, get them onto the webinar, let us do the talking. Does that make sense, Artie? So yeah, let us do the talking.
No, thank you. That does. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so we've got
put things into perspective when you compare it to the average price. It certainly does. It's a very good value for money.
Of course, because the thing is, if you say to someone it's going to cost £200, they're going to say it's too expensive.
Yeah.
So your response to that is compared to what? What is £200 more expensive compared to?
Yeah.
Mandy drinks a lot of coffee, okay, and some other liquid stuff, okay. So Mandy spends more than £200 in a week on her caffeine fix. So if you compare it to coffee, it's cheap. Does that make sense, Artie?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, man.
You're
you're back on that one. I'm the same when it comes to green tea, though.
Yeah,
I mean, Artie and I just drink green tea, but Mandy, I don't want to swear, but some of the stuff Mandy drinks will make you shake.
He's lying, everyone. He's making me out to sound like a drunkard. It's not true.
No, I wasn't talking. I was talking about like orange juice. Anyway.
Yeah. I'm sure. 100%.
Okay, Mandy, you can take the next question.
Okay. Let's have a look. So, what is your opening line when prospecting? When I'm prospecting on social media, my opening line is pretty much, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, great profile. Hey, I see you like Bob Proctor." If you match that prospect, if you find middle ground with that prospect and you compliment them, you will start building a relationship immediately. Because imagine the last time you got complimented. You probably felt really good. Oh, I like your hat. Your glasses look nice. I like your hair. This, that, and the other. So when you compliment someone, it makes them feel good. If you can make someone feel good, immediately you've got that rapport. So when you're approaching people on social media, again, I'll look at their profile and I'll try and find some middle ground. Like, your profile looks amazing. I see you're a big traveler. I love traveling. Would be great to connect. Or, hey, great. If you've got nothing to say or compliment, just say, hey, great profile. Would be good to connect. That's literally all I say is my opening line, and then the conversation will follow from there.
Yep. Again, I do exactly the same. I don't know if you remember, again, people that I invited myself, my first line was, how's it going? I never say, never, ever do you go to a person you've never met before and say, do you want to start trading with me? It's not going to work. You have to build rapport. After rapport becomes engagement. After engagement comes the sale. And I don't look at this as a sale. I look at this as helping other people to become financially free. I do not look at this as sales. ever. So you're helping other people become financially free through trading and through building the business. That's what you're doing. That's your role, to help as many people as possible. The more people you help, the more help you will become, and the more closer you will get towards your goal. So some people are on this presentation, obviously you've got different religions, but a lot of the books and scriptures talk about this, that the more people you help, the more help you will get in return. So that's the mentality you have to have. You have to go into this as a helper, as someone who's going to help somebody else achieve their goals. So my goal, like I said before, is to make every single person on this call a chairman. And I know that by making you a chairman, I will also become a chairman. Does that make sense? Okay, brilliant. So next question, Mandeep, unless you want to add something to that.
No, that was pretty much it. Sade's asked a question. How do you manage your follow-up database? I use a few social platforms and have messages and requests coming through and end up duplicating marketing efforts. Any tips?
So Mandeep, if you answer that.
I think I'm... Yeah, give me the hard ones, right?
Very easy question, but Mandeep, you're looking a bit lost, so I thought maybe you should answer that.
Can you tell from my face? Sade, I'm so sorry, you stumped me there. I don't really have a database as such. I don't have a database as such, Sade, but what I do is I do follow-ups in my diary. And what I do is, the system I have is like a coloured system. So what it means is that whenever I do a presentation to someone, I highlight that in pink, and whenever they sign up, I highlight that in green. So at a glance, in the last month, I can say, right, I've done 20 presentations. Let me follow them up this month or in the next 6 months, and I'll see where they're at. Because I track my business via the presentations I've done, not so much the people that I've spoken to. Yeah, I might put them on a list, but I diarise it. I think Jav's quite good at diarising prospects, so he'll talk to you in a bit more detail about that. But I do more on the presentations that have been done. So maybe Jav, you might have a different sort of idea.
Sure. So I used to do everything online, and then I learned that once you put pen to paper, things happen quicker. So I'm going to show you a few things. So this is actually my business diary. So these are all prospects.
Wow.
You see those? These are all prospects. So Mandeep, I'm going to send you this list to follow up on these guys. Now, 90% of these people have not signed up. 10% have signed up, okay? So it goes on and on and on. So I've got the phone numbers there as well, by the way. So that's my prospecting diary. I didn't used to do that. I had everything on Excel before, but when I started doing this, things sort of changed because I learned that you've got to put pen to paper for it to sit in your head. And also, once you do that, you'll find that more people will eventually sign up. That's the case certainly for me. Now, again, I don't want to scare you, but this is WhatsApp. No, for some reason, can you see that? I'm just trying, yeah. So I've got probably over 1,000 messages on WhatsApp. So if I go back to Austin's example, I don't know if you can see that, but it keeps going and going. There's over 1,000 messages on there. Now, so if I look at Austin's messages as an example, there's a paper trail there over 3 years. I think it's the same with Sade as well. Sorry, Sade. I want to mention your name as well. I met Sade in London over 3 years ago, and she said to me, do you know what? I am ready to start today. And then for a year, she wouldn't speak to me. And then she started to speak to me again. Sade, if you want to unmute yourself, you can speak here. And then finally, Sade contacted me. She goes, do you know what? I am ready now. And I said, Sade, I don't believe you. She contacted me again, and she finally signed up. So I use a diary. I use my phone. I do still use Excel as well, but primarily I use my phone. Everything is on my phone, and I maintain contact with all my database on a daily basis if I can. Is that okay, Mandeep?
Thank you. Thanks so much, Dr. Jav.
Mandeep, you changed your voice.
Yes, you did take
So Sade, do you have anything to say at this stage? How was our first interaction in London? Do you have a testimonial?
Yeah, it did take me 3 years, but I think it was just I was involved in a lot of things at the time, and now is just the right time. So I'm running with it, and I'm really excited, and I'm glad that you did stay on, you know, following me up actually. So I think that's a lesson for all of us as well. So it's about not just discarding people that are rejecting us, but still following them up if they're showing any sign of interest, I guess. So yeah.
And Charlotte,
Yeah.
my messages were very good. They weren't rude messages, were they? They were good messages.
Sorry?
My messages were very good and engaging, weren't they? They weren't messages saying, you know, join down.
No, you're very friendly, just casual. There wasn't any, you know, like you weren't trying to sell the business to me. We ended up, I think we become more friendly in our conversations more than really talking about the business itself. So yeah, in terms of interaction with, that's another good thing to think about, that yeah, we do have good friendly conversations.
Yeah, I mean, some of the videos Charlotte's been sending me.
For that period of time, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a very important point, Sade. Make your business partners. Every single person on this call is my business partner. You are all my friends as well, and family. So the more friends you have in this business, the better it will be for you and for them. Mandeep?
Yeah, perfect. So we have a couple of more questions here. What advice would you give to a person that has started and wants to build? Basically, just 2 words: just build.
Yeah, I would actually push that. Mandeep, I would actually say 1 word: build.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, unless anybody else has any other advice, but this is it's literally plugging into the system. So, you know, writing out their list, learning how to present, learning how to promote. So basically getting plugged into the system as fast as possible. But the key thing is, if anybody wants to build, is starting off with a list of 30 prospects and getting them plugged into information as fast as possible. Because remember, the more people that see a presentation or information of some sort, the more they're gonna come on board. Usman's asked, people ask, what's the average time it will take to make me money? I would always say to people, it's not a get quick rich scheme, but you're looking at 3 to 6 months. So I don't know, Jav might do it different, but I'm pretty upfront with them to say, look, it's because you don't want someone stepping into the business for a month and then leaving after a month or 2, because there's no point. They need to see the system for itself. So I usually say, you know, give it 90 days, which is about 3 months. Jav, what about yourself?
I actually say that every single person is different, and that is the truth. Some people actually start making money on trading, Salma, after like 2 days. Some people can take 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, 3 years. So every single person is different. And because we have these daily calls on trading, you can start making money actually from day one if you follow those signals. And that's why this business is so amazing. And that is my exact response to that question. I say every single person is different. Some people make money from day one. Some people can take 6 months, 9 months, a year. So, and that is the truth. Mandeep.
Perfect. So hopefully that helps you, Usman. Willis, how do you convince old friends? How do you convince old friends you may not have spoken to in a while to join? I would say if you've not spoken to them in a while, you probably want to create or recreate the friendship and that rapport first before you start saying, hey, it's been a while, why don't you take a look at this business? Because then it looks as though you're just there to get business out of them. So with any person who you've not spoken to in a while, remember, this business is based on relationships. If you have a relationship with your team, if we have a relationship with each other, it means that we're going to stay together for longer. Whereas if there was a disconnect, you'd probably think, well, I've joined this platform, it was great, but I'm going to leave now. Whereas if you've built that friendship and that connection, people are more likely to stay. Remember, our Chairman 25 always says this: an IBO will always leave you, but a friend will never leave you. Now, for me and Jav, like we know we're here to stay because we're so bought into Abdullah, Chairman 25. Like, I know I would never leave him. Wherever he goes, I go. Same for Dr. Jav. Wherever he goes, Dr. Jav goes. So it's a case of that bond, that friendship, that camaraderie is there. So Willis, if it's your old friends or anyone for that matter, always warm them up first, see how they're doing, where they're at with things, what they're doing with their life, how they're coping with lockdown. You know, just get back into that rapport with them, and then you can a little later on ask them about the business.
Yeah, that's good response, Mandeep. And obviously, if you haven't spoken to an old friend for a while, they're probably not your friend anyway. So, because what I'm thinking is, if you have a friend, you generally speak to them. Like Mandeep speaks to me every day. Even if I don't want to speak to her, she speaks to me. So Mandeep's like a friend. Any old friends I don't speak to are not friends. So those are like cold contacts. So again, like Mandeep said, how's it going? You have to start that friendship again. And nothing more to add, Mandeep. I think you covered it all.
Perfect. Next
So
question is from
you,
Naz.
Mandeep. Next question for you.
Oh, next.
Yeah.
You always give me the hard ones.
I've created a spreadsheet.
That's great. So the answer to that is great. I think it's a statement. That's fine. That's fine. No problem, Archie.
No, Archie, that's really good. Yeah, everybody works differently, and some people like to write things, spreadsheets, phone. You can have Excel on your phone as well, which is really good. So no, brilliant.
So Jav, this one's for you. Do you have a separate phone for prospecting to avoid overwhelm? Please tell the crowd.
Okay. Who sent that question?
Naz.
Naz, okay. I like the word overwhelm. Okay, I like to be overwhelmed. But having said that, I do still have, I've got 2 phones here, and I've also got another phone. But primarily I use one phone because, number one, I like the overwhelm. If I don't get a message in a day, I get bored. And number 2, I don't like carrying 2, 3 phones with me. And so, I mean, before in my other businesses, I used to have 2 or 3 phones, one purely for business and one purely for personal. But this phone is huge. And to have 2 or 3 of those phones in your pocket, it's just not possible. So in my particular case, I have everything on one phone, personal and business, because like I said before, every single person in my business is a friend, is part of my family. So they're personal anyway. Mandeep, what do you say to that?
I mean, yeah, I'd say if it's overwhelming for you, what you can do initially is pass the prospects on to myself and Dr. Jav just to help you initially. But honestly, get ready to be overwhelmed, because obviously if you're looking to build a business, you have to handle the traffic coming in. And obviously, I mean, if you're looking to get to platinum 150, that's a few people. But as your team grows bigger and you expand, you're going to have a lot of contacts, a lot of people to help. So it's just a case of getting used to that. But that will come with time for sure. So we can definitely help you out with that. We finally found out who owner was. It's actually the friend that B introduced, Mimi. So hey, it's Mimi. Yes. So welcome, Mimi. Great. I thought I recognised you, and I was thinking, there you are. That's great. So Mimi's asked, can we introduce friends in South Africa? 100%. This business is available in over 120 countries, including South Africa area. So definitely, speak to your friends, go crazy, and share with them what we are doing in this business, because 100%. So you can definitely do that. And then Sade has asked Artie to share her spreadsheet. So if you want to, you can get each other's numbers from the, or you can just put it in the WhatsApp group, the Kynamite group. Artie, you can just share the spreadsheet there. But that's pretty much it. It sounds as though everybody's ready to rock and roll. I'd say just to add to this call as well, in terms of daily activity, because sometimes we get a bit lost in terms of what do we do, how can we do it. There's 2 places to prospect people at the moment. Number one is your warm list. So physically go through your phone and ask yourselves, does every single person know what you do? As of right here, right now, does every single person know what you do in your business? And point number 2, go onto social media, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and prospect people. I'm just going to show you something I'm doing currently on Facebook so you can have a bit of an idea. I'm literally just going to post this because I was working on this. This is basically the call that myself and Salma are doing tomorrow. But what you want to do is, if you're prospecting on social media, you want to make sure that you have a very active social profile. So you can see here, I've got my banner picture there. I've got my actual picture there, a bit about myself, investor and entrepreneur. I've also started a YouTube link, so I've got that link over here. But I'm constantly, look at the profile, I'm constantly posting all the time things that I'm doing, webinars that I'm doing, Instagram lives I'm doing, videos. I'm always literally, it's just full, even quotes. So there's always something that's going on. And let me show you a few quick tips to prospect people on social media. So I'm actually part of a few groups. I think maybe I might have shown this before. But let's have a look at this one, the female entrepreneur. I'm literally just doing something very basic here. Or I mean, my favorite one actually is the Bob Proctor one. Maybe everybody might be better with that one. So let me show you this one. Bob Proctor has over like 1 million people on his page. So I'm pretty confident everybody can find a few people out of here. But this is brilliant because you can actually speak to someone who shares that common ground with with Bob Proctor. So what you can do is you look at this. God is about to drop you a miracle that will cancel every worry in your life. I'm going to like that. And then look at all these comments here. 108 comments have been posted on this photo. What I can do is simply go on the comments and basically have a chat with these people. So Harpal Kaur Rajput, she's basically someone who said, you know, she's all about joy and this, and she looks decent. So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to add her, message her, and say, hi Harpal. Whoops, hi Harpal. Oh my God, it's autocorrect. It's a Carpal. Just make sure you watch the spellings, people. Oh my goodness, it keeps autocorrecting. What is going on?
Mandy, it's those drinks again.
I know. I need to be careful with the coffee. Okay, so hi Harpal. I see you are a fan of Bob Proctor. I am too. Would be great to connect. And I'm going to copy that because I'm going to use that for someone else. Send. That's it. Job done. Next message. And this is literally all I do. And I send about 50 of these in a day, 50. So I'll literally go down again and have a look at other, even the likes. You can go on the likes and have a look, but click on the comments. And you can see all these people commenting on his picture. So it just shows they're into personal development of some sort. They're doing something. But this is where you can get so many people. So many people. It's unreal. What about this one? Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. On a mission to inspire and positively impact as many people as possible. Obviously, we're already friends. But you can see here, she looks like someone who's a very positive person. So I've already connected with her. We're probably already speaking about the business. She lives in Canada. Fantastic. I can build a team on the other side of the world. That's message number 2. Message number 3. Again, who else has replied to this message? Xavier or Samoy King. Click on him. So he's a musician, speaker, actor, personal development trainer. Wow. I'm going to add him. I'm going to message him. Again, the same thing. Hi. Change his name. Hi, Xavier. I see you're a fan of Bob Proctor. Would be great to connect. Send. Next person. Can you see how fast I'm doing this? The more you do this, the more people start connecting with you and start saying, oh, this looks good. What do you do? Denise. So people are actually posted a lot of stuff on his page. Let's look at this person. Denise. I can't even pronounce her name. Karapatis. She's in New York. I mean, we have to vet these people. I don't know how motivational she is, and you want to connect with good, solid, strong people. But that basically gives you an idea. Whether you're clicking on the likes or the comments, you can easily send out. If 50 is too much, just send about 10 or 20 to start off with, but be consistent. Because when you're consistent with your business, people like consistency. They like seeing that you're posting things, and you'll get more response that way. So hopefully that gives you a bit of like homework to say, right, I can go away and send out 10 messages, 20 messages on social media. And I promise you'll get people back. Jav, over to you.
Yeah, just to add to that, Mandeep, if you're sending 50 messages, try and make the messages a little bit different. So if you're saying, how's it going on every single message, Facebook will flag it up. So try and have a little bit of difference in the messages. And also my recommendation, if you want to hit Chairman 10 this year, you can do this every single day and you'll make it, because myself, Mandeep, and a lot of other leaders have brought in, I'll say, tens or even hundreds of people just through social media, just by doing what Mandeep's just shown you. So 30 to 50 messages a day. You do this for 7 days, it will become a habit, and you'll be able to do it while you're sleeping, while you're driving, I didn't say that, while you're in the shower, while you're in the bath. Once it becomes a habit, you can do this even while you're doing a Zoom call with somebody else, which is what I do. So while I'm speaking to you, I'm sending messages at the same time. So does that make sense? So every single person on this call can do this. Facebook has over 2 billion members. Instagram, obviously owned by Facebook, is very, very big. My recommendation, Instagram is very good, Facebook and LinkedIn. I use personally Twitter as well, but Mandy, I don't know, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, basically everywhere there's a social media channel, just use it. So stick to 1 or 2, but keep posting on there regularly. Get your presence known to people, because if someone clicks on your profile and you sent them a message and you're saying, I'm a Forex trader, I'm an entrepreneur, and they click on your profile and you're eating kebabs and it's not really a good look and all sorts, or whatever it is, you want to make sure you're reflecting the right kind of image. Remember, like attracts like. If you're a woman on this call and you want to build a women's team and you know, so on and so forth, you want to basically put that kind of vibe on your profile, so women clicking on your profile can say, wow, she looks like a power woman, I want to connect with her. And for the lads, the gentlemen on the call, you know, maybe you can put some Bob Proctor stuff on there, you can put some Anthony Robbins, you can put David Manitier on your pages. There's so much you can do to promote yourself, but just make sure you're putting on the right material, because remember, like attracts like. You will attract the person that you are, physically, mentally and spiritually, and also on social media as well. So the person you're putting out there is what you're going to get back. Dr. Jav sending messages in the bath, yeah, 100%. I mean,
Yes.
that's from Usman, that's that's something that Mr. Dr. Jav is doing. So
Alone in the bath. Thank you.
Yes. Wow. Woo. We need to cut it there. Wow.
I was going to say, I've actually lost my train of thought. When you're sending messages, like Mandeep was saying, you know, every single day, it doesn't take long. Just get it and make it into a habit. And I can guarantee you, with a very, very high degree of accuracy, that you will make it. I mean, there's no reason why you should not be at least a P150 on this call. If you're not a P150 and you do this for 7 days, you should be able to become P150. If you don't know how to close, Mandeep and I are available to do the closing. All you have to do is the inviting, and you'll be able to do it. Mandeep?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think the key thing is just consistency. Naz, I think we've all lost our train of thought. I think we have.
Yeah.
I think we probably have. But honestly, I think the biggest thing is pick one thing you're going to do this week. So today is Monday, the 11th of May. If every single person sent out, say, 10 messages or 20 messages on social media, it could really explode your business, because you will definitely connect with someone else that probably wants to build, they want to trade, they probably want to, you know, they can give you a lot of referrals. So start today. If you've not already sent out, I'd say minimum, if you're looking to build 20 messages, if you haven't already sent out your messages, go on Facebook, go on LinkedIn, or go on Instagram and send your 20 messages before midnight. So you've done yours for today, and keep a track in your diary. So what you can do is put the number 20 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you can't put excuses in the box. You just put a tick or a cross. So if you sent the 20, put the tick. If you haven't, put the cross. But that way you can start tracking your business, thinking, well, why did nothing happen in my business this week? And then you can look at the amount of messages sent out. And obviously, if you are getting in front of people, then that's a good thing. And you can continue doing that. But I'd say pick one thing on social media and just do that. Like for me, I've already sent out 30, 40 messages. I'm going to do the last 10 or 20 in the next hour, and then I'm done for the day. And then I'll do the next set tomorrow and Wednesday and Thursday and so on and so forth. So it's all about being consistent with your activity. And obviously, if anybody needs any help with their social profile, obviously we won't have time to log into those today, but feel free to drop me a message, put it on the group, or you know, drop Dr. Jav a message, and we can help you with your actual profile page.
Yeah, thank you for that, Mandeep. I'm conscious of the time. I've got a 7 o'clock meeting as well. So I'm going to close this presentation now. Thank you, every single person, for being on this call. Like I said, every single one of you is a leader. We're here to support you all the way. Mandeep and I are going to try and do this once a week. Mandeep, what do you think?
Yeah, we're going to do it once a week. I'm thinking maybe we could do it on a Sunday evening. If that's not good for people, then we can just stick to Mondays and kind of lay out for the whole week. So whatever's good for everyone. But we will be doing a builders call once a week to help everyone to really, really get up to scratch. Because honestly, our Chairman 10, Mr. Takir Abbas, 90% of his business has come through Instagram. So if he can do it and he's earning 10,000 a month, there's no reason why the rest of us can't do the same. So and he's actually close to Chairman 25 as well, very, very soon. So if he can do it and he's built a massive business organization on social media, then there's no reason why we all can't follow in those footsteps.
Okay, thank you, Mandeep. Thank you, every single person on this call. And again, we will see you again next week.
See you.
Guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.